one of the things I've come to realise over the last 12 years or so of doing corporate training and consultancy is just how much of our communication has its roots in writing. So things like blogging, things like social media, but even things like, for example, planning a video or planning a PowerPoint training session that you're going to do, planning a podcast. So much of it has its roots in good writing. And I'm lucky enough that I get to work with people at all levels in a lot of our client organizations, from the front desk and the shop floor all the way up to boardroom and so on. And one of the things that I found, because people take me into their confidence and they're very honest with me, which is a real privilege, is people in quite senior roles who have, they recognize in themselves a weakness for writing. And they're worried that they're going to get found out because they think, look, I'm running a team, I'm running a department, I'm quite senior, I'm very well paid, and I've got this vulnerability that I'm kind of hoping nobody recognizes, and that means that they're resistant to some of the digital marketing and some of the communications tactics that the organization might be trying to get them involved in. So even something as simple as, being on LinkedIn or running a LinkedIn, is they find themselves in this kind of no man's land almost, where, well, they know they ought to have it and they want to have it, but they don't feel comfortable writing it themselves. So the natural thing to do would be to outsource it to the marketing team or the comms team, but you don't want to add to their workload. And in any event, you know what you want to say, and you don't necessarily want them to try and say it in your voice and your style. So you end up not doing it and it just gets kicked down the road and never happens. So if that kind of thing feels familiar, if you're trying to hide or compensate in your work for maybe a lack of confidence in your writing, then I really want to help you, because our mission here at Comsteria is to help every organisation and help everyone communicate with power and communicate more effectively. And we can't do that if we only work with the people that choose to sign up and come along to our training. So what I'd really like to do in this podcast is reach out to you if you're in that category where you feel that it's the writing that's the issue. Maybe you just had a bad experience with writing at school. Maybe it's kind of always been an Achilles heel or an area where, you might write reasonably well, but you just lack confidence with it. You don't enjoy it. And you're in this world now where everybody's expecting written content really fast. And they're even saying things like, well, look, there's no excuse now. There's AI. AI can help. And you're kind of embarrassed. You think, God, I don't want AI to be better at this than me. Maybe it could help, but I don't even know where to start. So if you want some help with writing, we've got a few options for you, and I'm going to make this as quick and easy as I possibly can. You could come to some training. We could deliver some one-to-one training for you, either myself or Emma. Emma is my wife, and she's a fellow director in the business. Emma was an English teacher in a secondary school for a number of years, and so she's got some great training around things like grammar and proofreading. And it's a real safe space, so don't be embarrassed if there's words you can't spell, or there's sentence structure or that you struggle with, or maybe it's always a bit long-winded. Honestly, Emma can whip that into shape for you in one simple, probably half-day session. I think could get some great results. If you don't feel comfortable coming to training, if you've maybe, if you're really busy and you can't commit to anything in your diary, we can create on-demand video for you. So we can put together a training program for you where maybe you send us an example of your writing. We create a video where we give you personalized feedback. It's sent to you via a secure link. We then set you a task and you do a bit more, and so on, until you've had all the agreed training and you're upskilled. So we'd love to do that for you. We'd love to come in and work with you as well, maybe put something on for the whole team, create that safe space where everybody learns at once. But I'd really encourage you to do something, because I think that skill and that confidence about writing is only going to become more sought after. Some people as well might consider themselves good at writing, but maybe what they mean is they're good at academic writing or they're good at creative writing. And this can be the other extreme where rather than writing being the Achilles heel, writing something that you love. But is that writing fit for purpose for communicating information or for writing online? For the sorts of corporate messaging that you might be doing where there's no point being too clever because we don't want to read it all. We want it to be really concise and to the point. So there's no good or bad writing. What there is there's a writing skill that we can develop, and it's writing content appropriate to the business needs and the audience that you're going after and the medium that you're using. So lots of help. Live training, in-person, webinar. You can have me, probably slightly tougher on you. You can have Emma. Actually, I think Emma's maybe slightly tougher on you. But in all seriousness, we'll listen to you. We'll figure out what you need. We'll create a safe space. We'll build some training for you. And it can be live. It can be on demand, pre-recorded, whatever you're needing. We've got some really simple skills guides, some PDFs, some documents that we can send you as well. And if you'll find yourself writing and you'd like maybe it ghostwritten or you'd like it sort of proofread for you, and nobody needs to know that we're working together. You send us some stuff, we'll fix it, we'll send it to a secure email address that you give us. No one will know, and we can help tidy it up. Recognize the way that your brain works. Some people need to do the kind of brain dump. They need to write it out long form first. There's far too much. It's all their thoughts on the page. And we can work with you and tidy that up and craft it into something much more focused, much more engaging. It's going to make you feel better. And that's the key thing. We don't think that people should be struggling with written communication. So give us a shout, get in touch. My email address is in this podcast description. It's just colin@comsteria.co.uk. colin@comsteria.co.uk. You can find out all about us on the website. Thanks very much for listening. And if this helps at all, or you know someone that would appreciate it, send it along to them. Thanks for listening.